That's once when we've turned the din down. I don't know, in a few years' time we might be playing with the music on, who knows?
Hope not.
First set, Anastasia Potapova to serve.
Okay. Now they're set.
Ready?
Somebody's taking the batteries out.
Play.
Fifth appearance here for Potapova on her debut back in 2019 when she was a teenager. Nearly beat another teenager, Coco Gauff, on her debut in 3 sets. It was a set up, but beaten in the end by the young American.
Oh.
12 months ago, beaten by Denmark's Clara Tarsen, so she's certainly going to add points out here. What sort of match are you expecting her to play?
I think Potapova always comes out really aggressive, and that is really her main game style, but I think she will try to exploit the backhand for sure.
30-50.
Currently just inside the world's top 40. What is it about the backhand of Muchova that makes it exploitable?
It's not that it's a bad shot. The thing is, her forehand is so good, you just want to stay away from her.
Okay. She plays beautiful tennis.
That was a good example of actually a good point by Potapova, because you want Muchova to have to play really well with her backhand, which isn't her first choice. So if that's how she's going to control the point, too good. But even though she lost that point, that was the right way to play.
This is a very lively start, where there wasn't really anyone to practice or play with, and both, you know, they've had to move. She was very close to the Slovak border, and so it wasn't as youngsters on their doorstep. It's not like being born in southern Florida or Barcelona.
That was quite a kicky serve for a first serve. I think Potapova wasn't ready. She was expecting a big one. Got caught back, a little too far back.
Muchova celebrated her 28th birthday last week, but in probably tennis years she's a lot younger, because her story is one of numerous injuries. She's made of glass, this one. You have to be very careful with her.
Having said that, Potapova would want to direct more balls to the backhand. She has to be ready for a lot of slices, and hopefully in her warm-up she had her coach hit a few slices to get used to it, because you don't see that shot too often in the women's game.
Tenth days of the tournament. Both women safely aboard in this unseeded third round match. Muchova, a semi-final run here in New York 12 months ago, lost to Goff in 2 sets and hurt her wrist, her right wrist. Ended up having surgery in February, came back on the grass in June. It's been a tough 10 months for her.
Let's pursue.
What did you do well
15
against Anastasia? Because you played her, you've played her this year in Birmingham, and you've been pretty comfortable. I mean, you've kind of owned her actually the last 3 times. Be interested to see what you tried to do.
Yeah, I try to weather the storm when she's playing deep and aggressive, and you can sort of read her. She loves to go cross a lot, so at one point, you know, it wasn't so hard to read the game, and whenever I had a chance, I just felt like I needed to be the one dictating. Great point by Potapova.
30-15.
So if you feel she likes to go cross court, in fact, playing a Czech player, Czechs always seem to go cross court. It wasn't at the game. How do you like to take the line, or do you like to go back cross court and then wait for an easier ball to go into space? Maybe we'll talk about that after this point.
That sort of depends how I'm feeling on the day. On the backhand side, I don't mind staying in that corner because I feel very confident that I could potentially outplay her. But on the forehand side, I tend to want to probably go lines quicker than my opponent.
What a move. What a tough point.
Having said that, she's an aggressive ball striker. She's such a great mover, and we saw that here. And also, when you give her different looks with shape, she's very intelligent with picking the right shot and maybe not always going flat, giving it more shape as well. One thing in Karolina's game I feel like she could do more is stand a bit closer in the service box on the second serve, but I think it's just her game style of wanting to get into points. But she's a great ball striker, would create more pressure.
Advantage Potapova.
She would have grown up in the eastern part of Czechia, as it's now called. I've got to get used to that. Would have been in the summer heavy, slow clay courts and then quick courts indoors. It's a really interesting combo of that part of the world there, but how they train. This is a really good opener from both women. Not surprisingly, we're on serve. Early stages of this first set.
2 games to 1. First set.
Beautifully done. What an athlete.
15.
We've been seeing some really complete points with pretty much hitting all the shots in the book, and it's only 2-1. Makes me excited for the rest of the match.
I have to be honest, I don't often sit down in the commentary box after 5 days of a slam think I'd like this to be a really long match. I'd be quite happy. I'd be quite happy if this is a meaty one.
This is what Potapova does well. Comes out swinging, and you really got to be ready. And sometimes it's just too good, like that one.
What a bother here. The US Open was where Muchova made her really big breakthrough 6 years ago, qualified, and made it through to the 3rd round, where we are now. But in the second, she beat Gabinia Muguruza at that time, who was one of the best players in the world, under the lights on Louis Armstrong, and did it by a lot of serve and volleying and slicing. And everyone the next morning goes, who is this? Potapova with the fast start here.
15-14.
Went with a quick serve again as a first serve. Not sure if that's tactical, maybe just want to go high percentage. But Potapova was ready.
Just her 6th event back since that 10-month absence, recovering from the wrist surgery when she had to come back. It was all about holding a tennis racket, hitting with a sponge ball. That long and frustrating rehab process.
Just like Potapova's face, just too good there from Muchova.
Or Muko, as I heard you call her. Is that her nickname in the locker room, Muko?
No, I just sometimes shorten it up.
Oh, I love that.
advantage, Muchova.
He's getting a little ahead of himself. Yeah, 6th event. It's all right, Anna. It's just this. It's already been quite a long week. He's probably done the qualifying as well. Just 6th event back since she returned in Eastbourne, and very quickly had a top 50 win on the way to the quarterfinals. That's a very good sign for the 28-year-old Czech.
2 games all, first set.
That was a good way to get out of that early potential break a serve.
Don't forget you can stay connected to us on the US Open and by so many ways: Facebook, X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube and WhatsApp, and also you can join in the conversation with hashtag US Open.
Yeah.
It's been a little heavy with the double faults. That's now 11 for the tournament. Up against 4 aces.
No.
Muchova loves to, like there, she ran around that second serve. I think a good play down the road in this match would be also to go slice wide, just to keep her on her toes.
In the juice court?
Yes.
I think was looking rather rosy just in the last game where she had Muchova at 15-40. Now she has a couple of break points to fend off right here. There's the break, and it comes in the 5th game of this first set. Muchova taking charge. She goes to the changeover ahead in the first. Just like the rest of Muchova's game, her serve is so, in a way, underrated in my opinion, because she can hit every serve with the same ball toss, and as an opponent, that's very hard to read and know where she's going for a first serve. Very good rhythm now. Got to tell you, it takes good players to beat Muchova here at the US Open. It was Barty who stopped her on debut in 2018. A year later, Serena. 2020, she was a setup against Azarenka in the 4th round. And then you beat her a couple of years ago. So you're in good company, Aryna, with those names.
Oh. 40-15.
She's very quiet, the way she
so measured
moves about the court. Yeah. She just steps very delicately, as if she doesn't want to scuff up the surface. She's very light. You wouldn't hear her coming in the dark, would you?
Oh.
Oh.
I'm sure she sometimes also fakes it, but when I watch her play and just walking around in between points, she oozes confidence. It always feels like she's really thinking about what her next move is going to be. Not easy to play against.
Let's see if Potapova can find a solution here. So good, so young. Until Coco Gauff a few years ago, she was the youngest player ever to qualify at Wimbledon in history at 16 years of age. There's something about the hurry about Potapova, like she's got to get somewhere. Things have got to happen quickly.
She definitely likes to play quick in between the points, and sometimes when it's not going her way, she rushes even more, and you would think it would hurt her, but she's always ready, no matter how emotional she gets. She's a fighter.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. There's a few too many. Interesting with that forehand. She was had a coach from a very young age back in Russia who taught her with a very extreme forehand grip, and also taught her to step across her body. So when she was about 19 or 20, had to change the grip and actually be more open with her forehand. That's nice.
But that stat we just saw is also a lot to do with the way Muchova just makes you feel on the court. Also, when someone backs up pretty far from the baseline, it makes you feel like you can't hit through the court anymore. So you got to start with some angles.
Juice.
That is 3 now.
Advantage Potapova.
It's great ball striking, kind of what Muchova just forces you to go for these type of shots.
Surprising miss, but that's a really good hold from Potapova. It's been broken in her last service game.
Muchova leads 4 games to 3 for 6. Love 15.
It's funny how different your tournament can be from round to round. The other night, she was on the Arthur Ashe with almost 20,000 plus against a former champion, and you know, less than 48 hours later, she's on a very quiet, small stadium court in another part of the ground, you know, in the little unseeded third round. It's on a far cooler day as well. What is it about her serve that works? I mean, you talked about the disguise from the ball toss, but what else is good for you?
It's so simple, the motion. There's no hiccups. So I always find when the ball toss is good and the motion is clean, high chance you're going to have a great serve.
Their only meeting on the main tour in a main draw came 12 months ago in Montreal in the first round. Muchova winning 7-6, 6-2. Not sure what the conditions were that day, but oh, well watched. With a similar speed of court?
I would say Montreal tends to play a bit quicker.
Okay.
And I think that would go more into Potapova's favor, having a bit less time, and her balls would be doing just slightly more damage.
Let's pursue.
Gosh, she looks easy, doesn't she, serving and volleying? A couple of times a quarterfinal at Wimbledon. First time back in 2019. Big breakthrough for her. She can go very deep there one day.
Oh.
You jinxed her ball toss. You see what happens in here?
Game over.
We heard Potapova's coach in the beginning of the game say, be more aggressive, you dominate the points. And I think in the first few of the beginning of the game, she really tried to do that. And I think that's great advice. Even if you have a few more errors, it's a good investment for the second set just to play the right way, because it will come. She's a quality player.
Just over half an hour out on the grandstand, first match in the day session this Labor Day weekend. Potapova serving to stay in the first set.
I will say I expected Muchova to be a bit rustier than she is, considering how little she's played and what a big injury she's had.
It's been a quick comeback, hasn't it? Third event back. She made the final in Palermo, the 250 in Italy, and lost to Zheng Qinwen in 3 sets, who went on obviously to win Olympic gold just a couple of weeks later. She took a set off Jessica Pegula. She was actually up in that match in Cincinnati. So it's sixth event since the US Open last year. It's nothing. That just shows us. She's obviously very good at coming back from long injury breaks because she's had so many flipping injuries. Yeah, she's a pro at that.
Wow.
Oh yes.
30-15.
You're going to go to Muchova's forehand on the serve. You really got to make sure you pull that just wide enough to get her off balance.
Got it.
30-14.
Too many of those in this opening set. And from a really good start, don't forget she had a couple of early break points. It's gone a little awry. And a chance for Muchova to take the opener.
Juice. Up. Advantage Potapova.
Potapova, good recent form, comes in here. Off a semi-final in Cleveland, played the week before. Did well not to give away the set there. First time getting out the serve and volley play.
59.
Oh, she looks like she was born serving and volley.
So refreshing to see. You just don't see this often in women's tennis. I admire it.
Sounds like you don't want to do it though.
Maybe in practice.
Oh, come on, Aryna. Come on. Just gives her another dimension, doesn't it? Another look for Potapova. You look quite shocked, I have to say, with Karolina coming forward 2 points in a row. She's ready now. No, come on. Now she's just showing off.
Just a walking highlight reel.
40-11.
That is so good.
Oh, man.
On the stretch, sliding backhand volley. Winner.
Martina Navratilova is in the building. And
Proud.
I'll tell you what, she'll be going, yep, that's my Czech girl. More set points for Muchova.
I love seeing that fist bump still from Potapova down. Love 40 love, 3 set points. It's gonna help her.
So 2 have been saved. Muchova still with a pair of set points in her pocket.
Oh.
Just the one break, that was all it was required. Muchova with the first by 6 games to 4.
Potapova to serve. 15-9.
Any tactical changes for Potapova would you like to see?
For example, that shot, even though it worked, I would rather go to the backhand. Just tougher to defend for Muchova.
Wow, that is class.
That'll do it.
40-9.
And if you wonder why the backhand's so good, it was because the forehand was pretty ropey when she was in the juniors and when she first came on tour before she changed that grip. Wow-wee. Love that start to the second. And Potapova is not going anywhere here in this third round match.
Let's first.
Beautiful.
59.
When she moves in and her intention is to go to the net, right away that forehand is just such a better shot automatically. I can tell you, I've been told to do that quite a few times. Not easy.
It'll be fascinating in the second to see if Potapova can just set a few different problems for last year's beaten semi-finalist. Well, that's big.
Potapova actually plays quite a lot of doubles throughout the year, so she is comfortable at the net. I'm not saying she needs to serve and volley like Karolina, but I would love to see her come in more after the good shots she's hit. Just visually for Karolina to see someone coming in creates more pressure on defending.
I'd love to see a serve and volley. Can we just bring it back? Come on, you can serve volley. Why even just 1 point? And it had to be that good.
40-30.
Really thought she had her with this slice. That was caught the outside of the line. Just too good.
The only thing, though, it was fading away, so it was actually easier to get your racket around it. I mean, that was the only shot she could hit, wasn't it? But to play that well on a point for Potapova and to come out empty-handed, wow-wee. If it hadn't had quite so much curling, she'd come in a little bit straighter. You haven't got so much to work with, have you? You can't. It's harder to get on the outside of the ball.
Oh.
Game over.
Wow, she did not miss that by much.
1 more seconds.
Wow. Yep, that's the way though. That's what will get her to just put more pressure on Karolina. So even though that Karolina knows that was out just by a little bit, and that was also a great serve. So
she's got to trust it, hasn't she?
Has to keep going, keep committing.
By the way, I'll only ever talk about the slice back. It's the only shot I know anything about. Everything else is all yours. In fact, I won't even talk about the slice anymore.
Oh.
Love.
Now, mustn't get disheartened here. Just played a good match.
Oh.
Love 30.
This is the trouble when you play someone like Muchova, that really this match hasn't given her much. I mean, even we talk about exploiting the backhand, but she has 0 winners on that side, but she has been neutralizing the point deep, and it hasn't given Potapova much. But like I said, this is the way. Has to just keep going and believing.
Love 40.
Felt like Potapova was a bit slow to get to that short ball. I know it surprised her, but it was a good serve. Oh.
Muchova in full control here. It's another break. And she takes charge.
Oh.
Oh, come on. That's the relatively weaker wing.
Yeah. Not today, not today.
That's a great sign, isn't it? If you're your lesser strong shot and it's performing that well. So balanced, my goodness.
Oh.
15 all.
It's almost a surprise when she misses a volley.
Yeah.
That was a really tough one.
She tried to go like a drop volley, you think?
I think she was trying. I think she was trying to bounce it back across the net with enough backspin. I think she was just
highlight reel.
Yeah. As you said, still with work to do here. Potapova, very dangerous young player.
Oh.
Thirty 15.
Well, puffing and puffing in those going up wedge trainers. That's the word I was looking for. They're wedgy, aren't they? But she can't seem to blow Muchova's house down right now. Another big swing in the Czechs' advantage.
Oh.
This is the point you want to get Potapova to, where she just makes bad decisions and overhits. And look, from...
I'll come back to you in just a moment. USOpen.org is where you need to go to for your point-by-point live scoring. There's highlights on there as well, and the draws, and lots more. Back to you, Ayla.
No, I just, yeah, has to keep being aggressive. Like, that point was perfect.
Oh. Oh.
15 15-50.
Oh dear. Oh, she's better than this. She's just she's in a fluster now, isn't she?
Yeah, it's what happens when Muchova just plays quality like this. But you're right, she is better than this. Hopefully she pulls it back just to hold here. It's all unraveling, I'm afraid, for the 23-year-old. And Muchova now with a double break in this second set.
15-0.
This could go very quickly now.
Yeah, tough position to be in, but just got to think at this point, 1 point at a time. Still 2 games to go for Muchova. It's not over.
Just looking at, I don't know if you had a look at her service numbers. She's only lost 4 points behind her first serve in the match so far. 63 minutes they've been out here.
Yeah, the number that sticks out to me is the second serve winning percentage, 70%. That just shows you how tough it's been. And Potapova is a great returner, especially on second serve. She jumps all over, but hasn't been able to in this match.
Full T15.
Too good.
New balls, please.
1 game away now from a place in the 4th
Muchova
round.
leads 5 games to 1 second set.
Such a big match player as well. Just thrives in these big stadiums.
Tell you what is surprising though, I haven't mentioned it. Only the 1 title for Muchova, which came in Seoul. And that was 5 years ago now, almost 5 years ago. That's a surprise. Well, okay, come on, Potapova, let's see what you got here. She's got some new balls.
Love 15.
Well done.
Wish we could have seen more of these points earlier in the second set, but better late than never.
Oh!
15-30.
That just about sums up how big Muchova has seen the ball out here this morning. And very quickly, she's at 2 match points.
30-40.
Nice one.
That was a good response to that forehand winner.
Juice.
Oh!
It's all dark arts, isn't it, from Karolina and Potapova, completely flummoxed.
Advantage Morova.
I think Anastasia was expecting that to go deep cross. Wasn't anywhere near it.
Third chance.
Oh, wow. Feels like she last minute decided to do that. Disguised it well.
She'd run out of options. She was rummaging around the shot box and found that. Good for her. There's a kind of a feeling it would be lovely for her to get this game.
Advantage Potapova.
And the former junior world number one hangs on here in this second set.
Morova leads 5 games to 2. Second set.
Oh!
You sense the forehand still very much a work in progress at this level. Lots of other very good attributes there to her game.
That was a deep return by Potapova, but Muchova just always having the ability to hit it in an uncomfortable way where Potapova has to reach or play a really spinny ball back.
Faulty love.
Her rate pace brings up her fourth match point.
So much more.
Cruises through to the fourth round in style.
6-4, 6-2.
And she can take the applause. I bet she's so happy to be back.